How's it going, everyone? In this video, I want to give you guys a pretty notable update on Dragon Age 4, reportedly due out in the next 18 months. Horizon Forbidden West was a game that was initially thought to be released in 2021. Why that game was delayed, we'll talk about that. Pretty noble reasons, all things considered. First up, Dragon Age 4, a game that, I don't know, maybe doesn't have a crazy amount of buzz based on BioWare not being everybody's favorite studio in the year 2022 after the release of Mass Effect Andromeda and everybody's favorite game, Anthem. I obviously joke there, but Dragon Age 4 is still a game that is gonna have a healthy level of buzz as we get closer to the release of the game. Now, when is that gonna be? Well, it looks like it might be released within the next 18 months. That's according to a brand new report by VentureBeat journalist Jeff Grubb, which pegged its release to late 2023. Now, reports also ruled out a 2022 release window for the new Dragon Age, which I don't think anybody really saw that coming, but Jeff Grubb did say on the latest episode of Grubb's Next, Dragon Age 4 is in very good shape. They're hitting their milestones. The game is on schedule, which is about 18 months out from today. He expects it to release maybe late 2023 at the earliest, so it could be even later than that, but a late 2023 release window would be pretty cool. You know, that's so far away. A billion things could happen until then. Things could change in the gaming world all the time, and I know, again, as I mentioned at the top, BioWare isn't everybody's favorite studio, but as I mentioned, with studios that people are down on, whether it be a CD Projekt Red after the release of Cyberpunk 2077, whether it be a BioWare after the release of Anthem, whether it be a Naughty Dog even after the release of The Last of Us Part 2. Gaming is always going to be a what have you done for me lately kind of situation, so the narrative is going to change immediately. If BioWare releases Dragon Age 4 and it's a banger, the narrative on them is going to change very, very quickly, and people will be like, alright, we're getting the old BioWare back, but it is imperative. Like, the pressure on BioWare for Dragon Age 4, I can't even imagine. Like, I would hate to be in that studio working on this game because they have a wild amount of pressure on them, and they are in a position where, yes, you always want to deliver a good game, but you could go as far as saying this is kind of a make or break it. And again, I always say it is a what have you done for me lately, but you don't want to get into a position where you release 3 disappointing games in a row. I know there's a new Mass Effect in the works as well, and hopefully that turns out well. But Dragon Age 4, this new Dragon Age, it's a game that really, really needs to turn out well. And, you know, I have a lot of respect for the developers at BioWare right now because what they're going through is probably pretty pressure-filled. So hopefully they can come out the other side and deliver a high-quality title. I want to see them get back into the good graces of the consumers, and hopefully we do see that with Dragon Age 4. All right, moving on from that, Horizon Forbidden West was delayed from its initial thought 2021 release window. Well, why was it delayed? For a pretty simple reason. According to Dutch online newspaper New, the game was delayed because they wanted to avoid a crunch, noting that happens very rarely with us. We are aware of the disadvantages of crunching, so we take this into account a lot in our planning. Forbidden West might have released at the end of last year, but then we might have had to work overtime. People should also be able to relax and take vacation and to be with family and friends. That also played a part in the decision to release the game now. Now, obviously, I'm not big on games getting delayed all the time. You should. In a lot of situations, you should be able to plan for a release window for a game and then hit it. But look, all bets are off the table when obviously we went through working from home. We went through the pandemic. Like, if you were delaying your games at all over the last 2 years, like, everybody should understand that. It's not a big deal. And at the end of the day, you don't want to crunch. Like, delay the game. Delay the game as many times as you want. Don't go through a crunch because that's just not fair for the workers, especially because game developer pay has always been a topic of discussion, and you don't want to put them through a crunch as well. Like, that's just not healthy for the morale of a studio, at least I would think. You know, it is something interesting to think. I thought about it as Horizon Forbidden West was coming out. Horizon Zero Dawn came out all the way back in 2017, and it's been 5 years since the release of that game, and now we finally got the sequel to that game. Let's say it takes another 4 or 5 years to get to the release of the next Horizon title, just because these games are so big. Kind of wild to think about that people that had seen the debut trailer for Horizon Zero Dawn could have been like in high school, and by the time that the third Horizon game comes out, let's say a third one comes out, not the VR title, but a third true game, and let's say it wraps up the franchise or whatever, I don't know if it is, let's say it does, then there are people that are literally going to be in their 30s by the time the Horizon franchise wraps up, which is like kind of crazy for me to think about, just because, like, I grew up, a lot of my gaming heyday was with the PlayStation 3, and I remember how they were just pumping out games back then, because, like, think about it then, 5 years between Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, back then, you're talking about Uncharted, Drake's Fortune coming out in 2007, followed up by Uncharted 2 in 2009, followed up by Uncharted 3 in 2011. Ratchet & Clank, Tools of Destruction came out in 2007, Future Crack in Time came out in 2009, you got Into the Nexus right after that. Like, these games were coming in very quick succession. Now, let's compare Uncharted 1 to Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West. Obviously, the spectrum has completely changed how big these games are and the undertaking that these games are. I get that, but it is also something that Sony Santa Monica Studio hearkened to on why they're wrapping up the Norse saga in God of War with God of War Ragnarok, because these games just take so long to develop that they didn't want to be in this Norse arc and put people through this story for 15 years, you know, 5-year cycle for these games coming out, which is just kind of wild to think about. Infamous is another one. Infamous came out in 2009, Infamous 2 came out in 2011, and then I think about, like, yo, we just got Ratchet Rift Apart last year, and we were getting Ratchet games, like, very quick in succession back in the PS3 era. I don't know when the hell we're gonna see the next Ratchet of the full-on Ratchet game. Maybe we'll get a DLC or something like that, but I don't think we're gonna see another Ratchet game for a very, very long time, because Insomniac's got their plate full with a lot of stuff. Just something to consider. That's why you see these studio acquisitions and whatnot, and you're getting Sony Worldwide Studios expanding so much, and they're working on more games. But yeah, just something interesting, and again, it's no slight on the developers at all. These games are just getting absolutely enormous, and I could understand why it takes 5 years, 6 years for some of these games to come out. And honestly, while that was the case for Sony first-party titles back in, like, the PS3 era, 2009, 2010, 2011, look, I've been a fan of Square Enix games for a long time. I've been waiting on, you know, I've been through the Final Fantasy Versus 13 taking 10 years to come out, you know, things like that. I've already been through that, but just a far cry from what we saw back in the PS3 era. But enough rambling on that. Good on Gorilla for avoiding the crunch. That should be the main takeaway from this post. That's gonna do it for me. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you have any interest in Dragon Age 4? Like, is that a game that, you know, you want to see more of? Just because at this stage of the game, we still don't know much about it, but hopefully we do hear more sooner rather than later. I could easily see that being, like, a big gameplay drop during that E3 season, like, you know, the June season, that summer Game Fest time, you know, all that good stuff. And Horizon Forbidden West delayed to avoid crunch. Good on Gorilla. You never want to see crunch in gaming. Also, GTA is another one of those franchises that you got GTA 4 in 2008, then GTA 5 in 2013, and I don't think we're going to see GTA 6 till like 2025, so yeah, obviously that's a little bit different since GTA Online, but you get the idea. Enough rambling, sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.